Hello everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, MovieScreen Recaps. Today we are going to recap a film titled I Am Legend. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Dr. Crippen is featured on a television about her major discovery that she has genetically modified the measles virus to target cancerous cells. She reveals that, thus far, all cancer patients who have been treated with the therapy have recovered. 3 years later, the scenario shifts. New York City has become a bleak wilderness, devoid of human existence. Roads and buildings are covered with grass, abandoned automobiles line the roadways, and the city is silent. The apocalypse appears to have come. Robert Neville is driving through a desolate town with his dog Sam. A herd of deer darts across his path, almost knocking him down. He pursues with tremendous speed. We understand it's a hunt when he tries to shoot them. The deer disperse and rush along the road, which is obstructed by abandoned automobiles. Robert is on foot, attempting to track down a deer. He has the deer in his sights as he rounds a corner, only to be beaten to the slaughter by a lion that probably escaped from the New York Zoo. Robert is divided between shooting the lion and its family, who also appears in the scene, and leaving the deer to them. At this moment, Robert watches alarms begin to sound, indicating that the sun is sinking and he must go. We see Robert's coming home. It's a regular American detached house, yet it appears to be in the midst of a battle zone. He bleaches the steps to mask their odor. Robert and Sam appear to be having a regular evening, eating manufactured food and watching taped television. Robert closes, locks, and guards every door and window with large steel shutters after a bath. He sleeps in a bathtub with Sam, gun in hand. Surrounded by cries and screeches, he fantasizes of Zoe, his wife, their kid, Marley, and Sam as a puppy attempting to flee New York. We see Robert clothed in a military uniform. As an army doctor, he resolves to stay in New York on his own to attempt the halt of the epidemic. They inform Marley that they are going on a vacation. She notices her parents are upset and attempts to soothe them down by holding up a butterfly. Robert awakens from his dream to return to his lonely reality. Robert works out and visits his fortress-like home's basement, where he keeps a modest yet high-tech laboratory. We can tell that he has been working on a vaccine for the virus that has killed off the majority of humanity. He tested the vaccination, which was clearly only one among hundreds, on mice in order to find a viable treatment. Except for one, the mice are all extremely hostile. Robert takes note of this mouse and determines that the substance in question is ready for human testing. Later, Robert suits up and travels to a video rental business, where he converses with several mannequins he has placed up, his sole human interaction. He seemed to have devised a game for himself in order to keep crazy from engulfing him. There, Robert notices a lady mannequin that he wishes to get to know better. He assures Sam he will chat with her tomorrow while gathering some corn in the field. Robert then goes to several adjacent condo units in quest of supplies. He comes upon a room with a plastic-wrapped bed and another one with 2 cribs. We can sense the sadness in his eyes as he mourns the death of loved ones. Robert has devised a radio message that is broadcasted over all AM radio stations. It states he's alive and will be waiting for any survivors at the Bay's dock at lunchtime every day. Sam notices a deer while playing golf in a military jet, so the two of them go after it. The deer goes into an ancient structure at ground level, and Sam follows even though Robert attempts to stop him. Robert enters the building since Sam would not return on his own. Robert investigates the dimly lit rooms with caution. He walks slowly, aware that Darkseekers may be present in this structure. Darkseekers respond to light and sound, hoping he doesn't wake them up by hiding his flashlight with his palm. Robert wants to leave the building but feels he can't without his friend Sam. He sees the deer, and upon realizing it's not Sam, he continues on. He finds a room full of sleeping Darkseekers, but spots Sam and tries to quietly leave. An infected male attacks, but Robert kills him. They run away, chased by more infected, but after jumping through a window, the infected on Robert die in the sunlight. Soon later, Robert sets a trap on the tarp to capture one of the infected by smashing a blood bottle. He succeeds, and the Darkseeker commander flees the building, yelling at Robert before retreating to the protection of the darkness, since his skin burns when exposed to sunlight. Robert transports the captive female Darkseeker to his laboratory. He administers the vaccination that rendered the mouse less aggressive. He first observes promising effects, but after a brief battle, the woman collapses. He revives her with an adrenaline shot and continues to experiment with serums in the hopes of discovering a cure. One night he dreams about his wife and child attempting to flee New York during the pandemonium of its evacuation. He recreates the fear and dread on the streets as residents try to flee before the infected take control. He boards an aircraft with his family, including Sam, per his daughter's request. Robert awakens again just before they are preparing to take off. Robert sets his clock before heading out and listens to news about Dr. Crippen's vaccine causing early onset of rabies-like symptoms. He goes to the seaport, fishes with Sam, and plans a birthday party for him. Robert discovers his mannequin, Fred, has been moved and has a mental breakdown, yelling at it and eventually shooting it. Throughout the night, the infected set the identical trap he prepared for them the day before. The trap has captured Robert. He smashes his head and collapses. His watch is beeping, and it's dark when he wakes up. Sam has been patiently waiting for him. Finally, just as night sets, he cuts himself free, but he falls on his knife and impales his leg. The infected leader then emerges, accompanied by infected dogs. They attack him just as the last sliver of life fades away. Sam fights against one of the dogs to defend him. Robert crawls back to his car to fetch a gun and shoots the sick dog dead. As he sees Sam slump from a bite wound, he lifts her up and places her in the car. As he comes home, he places Sam on a table and administers an experimental vaccination to her. As Robert notices Sam's hair starting to come out and she tries to bite him, he is forced to murder her by strangling her while she fights in his arms. When he bids his lonely buddy farewell, tears fall down his face. He then proceeds to bury her in the streets. As promised to Sam, he goes to the video rental establishment and greets the woman mannequin. He implores the mannequin to respond. Robert is being suffocated by the darkness. In a fit of wrath, he intends to confront all the infected. He positions a dummy on the dock, and the infected attack him. He speeds his vehicle through the crowds of infected that walk the streets at night. He almost goes off the pier and smashes. His vehicle is overturned by the infected. A dazzling light appears on him just as he is about to perish at the hands of the leader of the Darkseekers, frightening them away. As the woman attempts to find out where Robert's house is, he gives her the location and advises her to go there after dawn so they can't trace him down. Robert becomes dark. He dreams of the past again while blacked out. This time he dreams about the helicopter his wife and kid took to flee New York. When it takes off, a nearby chopper is ambushed by an infected and crashes into the aircraft transporting his family. He awakens in his residence with Shrek on TV and sutures on his knife wound. He pulls a revolver and walks into the kitchen, briefly believing it is his family. Robert hasn't had human contact in so long that he's lost track of time. Anna and her son Ethan, who heard Robert's radio message and rushed to find him the day before, rescued him. Anna prepares powdered eggs and bacon for breakfast. Anna reveals her desire to depart New York and visit an immune survivors colony in Vermont. Robert, on the other hand, is adamant that everyone is dead and that no such place exists, which frightens Anna and Ethan. Robert then explains that he was saving the bacon. That's why he acted out. He apologizes to Anna after cooling down, but he still refuses to go. He then shows Anna his laboratory and injects another serum into the afflicted woman. When closing down the home, Anna begs Robert to join them. He wonders how she knew Vermont has a safe zone. Anna tells Robert that God has a plan, but he becomes irritated and questions how the infected could be a part of that plan. Suddenly, Robert realizes that the infected are attacking the house, having followed Anna back there from the previous night. He activates his defense systems, but the infected breach the shutters and begin to enter the house, with one even breaking through the roof. After shooting them, Robert, Anna, and Ethan escape to the basement lab. They see that the sick female has previously captured and tested the viral vaccine had reverted to human form. Before the infected can enter, Robert closes his bulletproof glass door. When the leader approaches, he begins to ram into the glass, causing the cracks to form a butterfly pattern. Remembering his daughter, Robert believes that it is, after all, God's plan. He draws a syringe full of the healed woman's blood and delivers it to Anna, urging her to stay in the incinerator with Ethan until morning. Robert pulls a grenade from his drawer, and as the infected leader breaks the glass, who has made it his personal mission to track down Robert for kidnapping his infected wife, they collide, killing all the infected in the room. Anna and Ethan arrive at an unusual spot in the countryside, where the path is barred by castle-like walls and a steel door. In that restricted enclave, several human survivors dwell. Anna hands the injection with a cure to the human head of that little village, and her voiceover informs us of Robert Neville's tale. We hope you enjoyed today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this.